TTC. I'm Dolphignition. Wait a second. There we go. Is that better? All right. Let me repeat myself. TTC. I'm Dolphignition, with possibly the second to last video of the season. Got these for Christmas. Not the most fancy earphones, but it'll do. Because I'm sure you all probably get tired of hearing my loud, robust voice. Let me just adjust it a little. So this is possibly my second to last video of the season. The ultimate difference is this time I've got a microphone rather than the audio from my laptop to make my voice less annoying but still nerdy nonetheless. The very last will be me congratulating the Buffalo Bills for their first Lombardi. Yeah, you heard me right. This Doll fan is both hoping and predicting Buffalo to both make and win the Super Bowl. I don't care if I sound like a fool, considering nobody roots for their divisional rivals any success, nor do I care that I should instead be rooting against them because going tried hard on us week 17 was absolutely unnecessary to the point where our chances of making the playoffs got completely shitted on just for the sake of making franchise historical stats. Nonetheless, the line was drawn in the sand that we did good, just not good enough to be competitive, as Tua, when the time to shine was beyond overwhelming for him to show that he's the future of our team, still has his work cut out for him. Albeit, I'm not giving up on him because he has the mentality and the past experiences to know how to get a win. Our defense doing fantastic in the marathon stretch, but seems to get exposed when they played real contenders such as Kansas City and Buffalo after those painful punt returns. And finally, our receivers that have been so suspect at the late portion of our season, to which I also hold accountable somewhat equally to Tua's share of the blame. If going to South Florida beaches being life risky, since we're all going through the COVID pandemic, is not enough to convince you, then maybe the Dolphins' disapproval of your performance in Week 17 should be. Isaiah Ford, enjoy your time with New England. We'll be sure to make mincemeat out of you once your late arrival as that team won't be anything this decade approaches. Now, before I get started onto the topic of this video, I had to congratulate the teams that made the wild card, starting with the Colts. Y'all made us doubt you guys week 1, but as the marathon progressed, you stayed strong, and your quarterback proved that all along it possibly wasn't him, it was the franchise he played for that held him back. As a fan of redemptive stories, I feel it's fair Phillip Rivers got his second chance to see how well he can redeem himself in the playoffs. Then there's the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson continually proving the haters that he's a quarterback and not a running back, and showed that you can take a shit and still win a game. And hilariously enough, the team that fell victim to that also got the wild card spot. But all memes aside, I'm happy for the Browns fans that the 18-year drought filled with frustration, underwhelming performances, long-time suffering with incompetent management, and fans who continually state they're giving up on the team, only to come back to realization that they were destined to become fans of the team that tests true loyalty to the max, finally adds up to this being a chance to finally shine. especially since they're going up against both their divisional rival and the team that eliminated them from the playoffs the last time they were shown. Except this time, the Steelers have been looking uber suspect. So it's up to Baker Mayfield and the men in the brown, orange, and white to take advantage and recognize Pittsburgh's weak points. Think you got this, Cleveland? As I said before, even though I've made friends with Steeler fans, I'm a fan of redemption stories. So don't disappoint us. But now, on to the reason why I'm rooting for the Buffalo Bills to go far in the playoffs. I've said it in my previous video, and I'll say it again. While our division failed to be the first overall to have all teams collect a ring with the NFC East claiming that victory in 2018 after the Eagles finally got their Lombardi, defeating the Patriots with a backup quarterback, I want ours. The Patriots, Bills, Jets, and the Dolphins to be at least the second overall, but moreover, the first division in the AFC conference to achieve that same glory. And all that has to happen for that is for the men in the royal blue, white, and red to accomplish that, and I feel I could trust them to get the job done more than I could trust the Chiefs. No offense. They've shown weaknesses that I expect any of their opponents to capitalize on, such as their defense still being slightly suspect. And though on paper, if it came down to the Bills versus the Chiefs should be expected to win. However, I feel this is a game where it wouldn't surprise me if the Bills got that upset win. For 25 years since losing the Super Bowl twice, if that's even a single word meaning 4 times, they've suffered, they've waited patiently, they've slowly moved up with incredible smart moves in the trading process, leading up to making that complete team everyone seems to sleep on. And Josh Allen has proved the last 2 playoffs that losing, especially in the first game back-to-back, only makes you stronger. And now that he's at his top potential, there will be no strings attached to him when anyone is in his way of grabbing championship. And with Stephon Diggs, Tre'Davious White, Josh Norman, Devin Singletary, and many more at his disposal, I can see those years of suffering with lackluster management and constant disappointment finally coming to an end. And on top of all that, Keemstar is a Bills fan. And he stated on social media that if the Bills ever win the Super Bowl, let's just say I'd be intrigued to see what Drama Alert would be like without the beard. So Bills Mafia, after you get your trophy, then celebrate it at home as the pandemic hopefully winds down, while showing it off and being that toxic fan base that you will soon be after this season is over. It'll be back to being mortal enemies between you guys and me. And next season, we're going to be harder than this season. But just remember, I am that Dolph fan rooting for y'all this postseason. So, if you got any mafiosos in your Mafia team, or if you've got a Godfather, spare me. You can go after Master at Work or some of the Pats fans. But don't lose your first game. And make me look twice. And don't make me look twice as much of a fool as I already am making this video. The Buffalo Bills are one of the blueprint complete teams this season. So long as the players stay on track with the pandemic protocols, I think they'll accomplish that long-awaited championship with only Green Bay being the team in their way. But now, As for my Dolphins, I've listened to TD Finstock's 3-hour stream about Chris Greer starting Tua next season again, and what Mr. Ballgame said near the end of the stream is perfectly summarized. Whereas some franchises can get what they want in the snap of a finger, other franchises don't have that same luck. Franchises like us, it may require patience, resilience, and ass-kickings back to reality before accomplishing being among the levels of competitive to championship. Many people are already giving up on Tua, but he's a rookie that we started late in the season. And in the phases of these, you can make all the mistakes in the first year. But then the second year is when you progress, but also realize and learn from mistakes you still haven't realized yet from rookie year, or new mistakes you've learned among your journey in the second year. But then, when year 3 comes, mistakes are not an option. Tua has won so many games in his high school and college years of playing this game with that dangerous left arm of his. And though trusting him to play for us majority of the decade might make me a victim of learning history, with Tannehill not giving us enough of those last 7 years, I feel our man is a different beast. He will improve. He will get the coordinators and the coach to guide them. We've got the defense. And most importantly, thanks to Houston, we've got draft pick number 3. And if I'm going to pick anyone, I'd be going for Devontae Smith rather than another quarterback. I just hope we keep Fitzpatrick for one more year, because I feel we're that chosen team that could get him into the playoff. And he stated that he's had more fun with us than with any of the teams he's played with before. But the bottom line is this. I should be feeling angry, disappointed, and upset that we were that one unfortunate team to miss the ball even when the odds were in more of our favor than some of the other teams that we were competing against for that spot. Instead, throughout my entire life of supporting this team, I feel more optimistic than ever before exiting out of a season since the 2015-2016 season. Except while the season after that was a huge letdown that put us back to square one. Since then, I feel we've been rolling doubles, and I can taste the monopoly we could score this decade and for years to come. This was a hard season. We did damn great. We lost big games. When we lost big games, we put up a fight. When we faced teams we're expected to beat, we actually beat them rather than shitting the bed, unlike the Dolphins of later years. Maybe except when we faced Denver. Next season, we're taking on the South of both the NFC, the AFC, our divisional rivals twice, obviously, and finally, 2 teams with storylines that fit with just how much we'll improve. One, the Raiders, being the team that we eliminated from playoff contention thanks to Fitzmagic, and the other, the Ravens, being the team that has completely fucking pounded us numerous times when we clashed. As for the South teams, while I feel the AFC South is going to be tricky, the NFC South should be a piece of cake, especially if this season that's about to end is Breeze's last season. The Panthers are still figuring themselves out. Same with the Falcons, but they're probably going through therapy after all the games they threw away in most embarrassing fashion. And then there's Tampa Bay. I hope Tom Brady plays one more season I want him to exit his career knowing that the Dolphins are, always have been, and always will be, just like what he said to his daughter in his documentary, Bad Guys Forever. And then there's also Ryan Tannehill of the Titans in the AFC South, our former quarterback. So yeah, this upcoming season is going to be one hell of a season storyline-wise for us Dolphins. And I am pumped to see what we could bring to the table and how we'll shock the world. But I've waited all my life for the Dolphins to be relevant, so I can easily wait 8 more months until next season begins. Until then, congratulations to the Bills, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Titans, the Colts, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Seahawks, and Crazy Fanner, if you're watching this, fuck you. The Saints, the Buccaneers, the Washington football team, can't wait for them to be named the Red Wolves, and the Packers. Congratulations to all the fans of those teams and the teams themselves. My father, a former microbiologist, predicts this pandemic might take another half a year before the pandemic comes to an end. So until then, I hope all these teams can put on a show for us, staying at home, having to watch during these hard times. One last announcement I'd like to mention to people who keep up with my low-viewed videos. I have an announcement. There will be certain videos I'll aim to delete once this season of NFL comes to an end. One being my live stream between Tua and Alabama versus Burrow and LSU, because I've barely contributed much to that live stream, and it was 4 hours long. And the other being my live stream of Manchester Derby, the one which I wore the Manchester United. It's pretty much the only live stream where I was watching a soccer game. So, if you have the chance to look at any of those, now's the time. And during the off season, I'll more so likely be doing videos involving my soccer team, Inter Miami, and where I go with YouTube in general 10 years from now is an answer to a question even I don't know. Well, okay, one of them is definitely going to be me having a new laptop. But to all the people who subscribe to me, and to all the people who've advertised my channel, thank you so much. I know I'm not that great of a vid maker, and this channel all started from a dare. I'll make a video explaining that sometime soon. But any amount of views and subscriber count is better than nothing, especially when I'm not even competing for those goals. So until then, to all my subscribers and my fans of this video, don't get COVID, live long and prosper, and may 2021 be a delightful year to you all. This is Dolphignition, always and forever till the day I die. Fins up.